Hello guys, it's my brother. I said that last time I made a video about knives that I need to demonstrate things and I need a friend or guy or bro to do it with, so he has gracefully volunteered to let me fictionally stab him. So anyway, I've already talked about all the points I've wanted to make in the previous videos. If you have not seen them, go to my channel, watch those, because I don't want to take up video time repeating it. And the first thing I want to do is I just want to demonstrate what I meant by the bull rush. So if I'm just going to charge you here pretty much. Now, first things first, actually, just switch sides so I can see my right side. Remember, what I said is, when a guy's actually going to frickin' bull rush you, he's not going to be doing this with his hand out in front of him. It's going to be back here by the ribs. And this hand's going to do all the work. Anyway, just step back a bit. Try not to back up as I charge you so he stays shot. So anyway, and then I'm just going to frickin' charge him. Sorry, I hit him in the nose. More to it. Anyway, point being, as you can see, left hand goes out. You can bitch at me if you want. Yeah. So as you can see, left hand just goes out, right to the face. He couldn't see crap, and then this goes in. So anyway, some other problems with wrist grabs and the X block. And if we just want to do the X block, so upper hand X block. So if I'm just going to do that telegraphed stab and he blocks with the X, and in most videos at this point he grabbed my arm and twisted out or something. What's actually going to happen is, first off, this can push down. I mean, resist as much as you can. I just go straight down. He has that leverage. Second, if I just draw this back, his arm's ripped up. Third, finally, remember, this hand, down, face. Same principle from the other hand. If I go under and he does the X block, I grab both his hands, this just comes out to the side, he's done. Or to the face, of course. If I go X block, done, face, throat, all that stuff. This hand is what really does the work. And
if I may mention one thing, repeat the X block. One thing you'll often see, doesn't matter, pick one. So one thing you'll often see, in theory, when this happens, I'm supposed to have some kind of super speed or reflexes to grab the wrist and begin doing a wrist lock, anything I want to do, whatever. Problem one is people underestimate their lack of speed. There is no way in hell that you're going to be fast enough to grab his wrist and maintain the strength and leverage to start fucking him up.
Before I can react in response.
In this case, we're going to repeat the X block. He's going to try, well, I'm going to try to do a wrist lock or whatever.
We're just going to do this with our full efforts. He's going to try and screw me up because I already hit him in the nose. So
I'll try to do a wrist lock or something. He's going to try to stab me. You'll demonstrate. You do not have the speed to do this, no matter
Oh, and our dog is in the garage, and sirens make him whine, so if you hear him, don't worry about it.
Yes, send him your good wishes, because that poor little guy's afraid of sirens.
Alright,
please.
so just...
I am dead, as you may have seen.
See, usually in a real fight, he'd be trying to punch me and so forth. In a hand-to-hand fight, he'd be trying to punch me, kick me, whatever.
But so will he.
What screws this up is that he's trying to focus so much on the knife that it's hard for him to try and block my hand. He knows that he needs to stop me from hitting him with this, but psychologically he knows that if he brings his hands up, I've got this in my other hand, which makes it so difficult for him to properly defend himself. So, and wrist grabs, I talked about this before, how you can't hold on to a wrist. I'm just going to pull my sleeve back so I can get some good grip. So if you just grab and hold on as tight as you can from either side. Now, on the outside of the wrist, I have the leverage to twist out like that. And he is holding on as hard as he can. You can promise that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he is a guy of average strength, maybe above average.
And, by the way, feel free to do this at home. Grab a fork or something and just try to hold on to a friend's wrist. See if you can try and hold on, because you can't.
Swap sides here. Just so I can show you the motion, what's going on here is he's holding me on the outside. My arm goes out this way in a circle like that. And I can even do it slowly. Hold on as tight as you can. I just try and slowly wrench out. See
it's
that?
Not even a matter of speed. It's just
it's
leverage. I do not have...
Now, on the inside of the arm.
Now, if I may say, some of you might be saying, what if you hold on with both hands, you might have strength. It doesn't work. One, because both my hands are occupied, I cannot defend against his other hand. He will be using it to punch me in the face. His hand is not frozen.
So there's a bunch of things I can do here now. If I don't use my other hand, I can wrench just with sheer force down or up or even kick or whatever. So just straight down.
Not to mention, notice that I was trying to hold on. Not only did I fail to hold on to the wrist at the end, it yanked me straight down, so now I'm completely
exposed. And now he's
exposed.
on his knees.
I'm completely
And I could go up, too. I could just go straight up. And it's much easier for him to hold on to, but it's going to move his arms up, and then I can just shake it down again. Now that's just wrenching out. Now, if I'm actually trying to kill him, this hand's going to come into play, and now I'm just going to do that. And now he can't let go. If he lets go, the knife's going to go into him. He's still holding on to my arms. But if he doesn't let go, I'm going to throttle him to death. And this is going to go to his face, throat, again. Now, with one hand, if I'm, again, not trying to wrench out, but just to actually kill him, just grab whichever hand you can. I can use this hand. Now, first off, I can just grab his arm, and it doesn't matter if he hits me with this at this point, because he can get a good hit into my face, but that hit will be traded for a stab. So I'm just going to grab this and twist it.
And I don't know if you saw, but right there, that knife just went in the back of my kidney.
And on the inside, for example, with any hand. And I could just do the same exact leverage. I've got two hands. He's screwed. And I could just slap it away. And you can test all this out with your friends. Just have them hold on to freaking slap it out.
Now, if I may say, there are going to be some people who say they either know a guy who knows a guy, or they have a friend who successfully used a wrist lock or whatever. Two things. One, unless you yourself saw this happen, I'm going to preemptively call bullshit. Or two, it can happen, this does happen, that a person, using a knife is himself incompetent. He might be drugged, he might be scared, but any guy who knows what he's doing with a knife, it's not going to work. You are screwed.
And let's talk about that. I mentioned before, what if you're dealing with a guy who does not know what he's doing with a knife? What if he's doing everything wrong like you see in the movies? Well, just demonstrate what a movie attack looks like. The knife's going to be out like this, just threatening him. And then he's going to make this very huge telegraphed motion. And then he's going to freeze for a second as if he's paralyzed.
And notice that he's not going to use his other hand. It's as if his other hand is not
so I'm
even
just
there.
going to do this movie-style thrust here. And that's usually what you see in the training videos. Now, let's say I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm actually really trying to get to him with all my strength. I'm just going to be madly slashing. Let's see what happens there. So I'm just going to go nuts here. So
notice I still screwed that up. Even
well,
though
we
he
were out of
was-
frame, but the point is that
If I may
even just
say-
slashing
if I
like
may
that,
say-
you can't grab it.
From my perspective, if he was slashing, she was incompetent. He gave me a lot of opportunities, a lot of space. What happened was I did not have the speed to effectively block it. In theory, if I was fast enough and had the reflexes or state of mind and was not trembling with fear about being stabbed, I could have easily stopped that.
And
In
I mentioned
practice,
this in my last video.
If I may,
that if you
in
need
practice, I have practiced trying to block knives. I do have practice of this. I did take martial arts. Even with that prior knowledge and practice, I still screwed that up. Even his incompetent charge still just slashed me across the stomach over here.
And the reason for that is really, remember, since you can't grab the wrist, usually in hand-to-hand, you can block stuff. If you block a punch, that punch is not going to do anything. When you block a knife, it just comes down and around and keeps going. And you can't keep blocking. I mean, this goes down, what are you going to do now? Grab it from underneath? It's at your body now. You can't do anything. So, like I mentioned in the last video, unless you have insanely good reflexes and thought processing, there's really nothing you can do about it.
And if I may quickly demonstrate an exercise to demonstrate the matter of reflexes, I'm going to have him lead with the knife and just stab outwards here. If we can swap places, please, so you can see. Please, I'm just going to have him stab this way as fast as he possibly can, past my stomach. I'm going to try to catch his wrist. I'm even going to have him count down. Count to 3, stab on 3, and I'm going to try to catch his wrist. I know what's coming. I know exactly when the flash is going to be. I'm still going to miss most of the time.
Alright, on go. 1, 2, 3, go. Go.
This. See, that case, not only did I miss his wrist, I just sliced my own wrist open on the knife blade itself.
And 1, 2, 3, go.
This time, again, I managed to
And
hit his
he's
upper
hitting
elbow.
my arm, but he just can't grab onto it because it's
It's
moving.
not happening.
And of course, I have a sleeve on. Just try and grab it with that grip. I mean,
And in this case,
his
my
arm
thumb
just,
was
his
just
hand's
slashed
just
right on
going
the
down,
blade.
and
I
off
just
the
lost my
hand.
thumb on the blade. Now, if I may ask a question, if I cannot even do this, feel free to do this exercise with your friends. If I know exactly what kind
No,
of
try
knife
with both
it is,
hands. Try with both
Try with
hands.
both
Let's see
hands.
let's see what happens with both hands.
in that case, I managed to get his arm, but I just can't get a grip fast
He
enough.
clapped
It's
his
gone.
hands on it. It just came back.
So
And
again,
here's the danger, by the way. If he did somehow manage to grab onto the arm, let's say you actually do grab it, and I'm pulling back, now his body's going with me, and then I'm just gonna come right back forward again.
I have no.
So
no
if you're
leverage.
holding on, I'm gonna yank back and then go forward, and let's see what happens. See, the arm just slips out and then goes forward again, and he's screwed.
Now, if I may ask the question, if I know exactly what kind of knife thrust it's going to be, exactly when it's going to happen, and I'm already prepared to catch it, and I still can't do it, how do you expect to successfully grab a wrist and perform a wrist lock against an opponent who is not telling you when he's going to slice, who is not telling you how he's going to slice, when you don't know how he's going to do it? How do you expect to successfully catch and protect yourself against that kind of slash if you can't do it against this kind of slash, which you are prepared for?
Anyway, so we're gonna wrap this video up. We're gonna make a very short second video right after this. This was just demonstrating all the stuff I talked about in the first video. In this next video, I'm just gonna briefly talk about threat display. and how to actually survive knife fights.
And they also
So
would like to
we're
make
running
one,
out of time here, so
if
we're
I
just
make
gonna
very
cut
quickly,
this. Yeah,
we'll
go
also make a video on how to properly defend yourself in theory against a proper knife attack.